Hi, welcome to Hope in the Light of Suicide. I'm Tammy White. I'm your host and founder and CEO of the Bobby White Foundation. Thanks for joining us this evening. Let's take care of some business first so that we can get into the heavy stuff. Not totally, but we want to thank our sponsors, actually, our producer, John Gaston with Area 52 Media Group. And today I have Cage behind the scenes with me. I'm so happy because I don't get to have him in my ear very often anymore. So it's really nice to have him back there. And our sponsors, of course, Dylan Gaston with the mortgage firm, Everything Mortgages. It's kind of crazy out there. At least that's what I'm hearing. So anything mortgages, she's your gal. That's who I trust. And then, of course, Tammy White Galleries and Custom Framing. Art, anything custom framing. We can frame pretty much anything. I think today we might even have or this week have a military uniform coming in. I'm really excited about that. I love doing stuff that is meaningful for people, which most of the work we do is. But anyways, so we have our support groups coming up for June. The next one for Spring Hill is June 10th at the NAMI Hernando office in Spring Hill, and the Newport Richie one is June 18th at the Oasis Coffee Spot in their little bookstore. So remember, these are free to attend. You don't have to register. It's just a safe place where you can be with peers and people that are going through the same journey as you. Everybody might be, further ahead or not. And it's just a safe place where we all understand each other. So the last couple of weeks have been really pretty heavy weeks with a lot of losses. That's why I titled the show Multiple Losses, because that's what's been happening around here the last few weeks. And it's been really heavy. Thus, that is why I am wearing my t-shirt that my producer John sent down to me for our Sasquatch walk. And I just really love it. And I had mentioned it before, but it's the beginning of summer, and with everything that has been going on in my brain, I just kind of wanted things to be a little bit, just a little bit lighter. And I wanted to also share with you some more of the signs out at Starkey Park that NAMI and Pasco Parks and Rec did along this Sasquatch trail. Oh, but before I show you that, because I forgot to show you this, when we did the walk, when we walked the trail for the first time, when they opened the trail up, we got these little cute little award things. I just thought it was really cute. I'm going to hang it up back here. And then, of course, it's on the refrigerator. I forgot the little Sasquatch walking with a peace sign that John sent down. I'll show that next week. Remember to take it off the fridge. But anyway, so the signs out at Starkey Park, and this trail is a really easy trail to walk. It's like less than a mile, around a mile. I haven't been back out there yet because we've been getting a lot of rainstorms, which is really great because we really need the rain really bad. But it kind of has cut into some of the time available for me to go out there and walk and take some more pictures. But I wanted to show you some of these signs that they put up out at the park. So this one here, I showed this one last week, but it's the beginning of the trail, but I wanted to show it anyway because I just thought the signs that they did are just really, really cute. So we have I'm going to look at the ones I have here too. So they have these ones that have little sayings on them. If we could go to the next one, Cage, they're mindfulness signs, things, to have you think about it Like, uh, let's start our mindfulness journey. And this is at the beginning of the trail with wisdom from John Kabat-Zinn. I actually have read his stuff. Wherever you go, there you are. Along the way, we'll explore our senses with prompts for each step. And this is at the beginning of the trail. So they have all these, and I showed some of them yesterday. The only prompt that I am showing this week is the one smell, because I did show they have listen. Oh, what else? I can't remember, but there's several. Watch last week's show. So the next one is smell. What do you smell? Earth, plants, the stinky river. It can sometimes get kind of nasty out there during our rainy season, hurricane season. But and they have listen, and they have several other prompts, and they're all throughout the trail. But then they have some more of the mindfulness ones. Like, let's show the next one, Cage. What's this one? Take a deep breath, letting the fresh air fill your lungs. As you exhale, release any tension you may be carrying. Let it dissolve into the natural surroundings around you. Repeat this breathing as you continue on, connecting with each inhale and exhale. So this is what I really like about what they've done throughout the trail. You won't get lost because there's these signs all along, but it's just nice to just go out, and you need to be with the earth. You need to. So the last one that we have to show you is at the end of the trail. And it just says, congrats on taking this self-care journey. As you leave today, we hope that you take the tools you used with you into your daily life. And then, of course, namipasco.org. And I talked a lot last week about going out in nature and how it is so good for us, especially when things are really, kind of hard. And so I'm going to share with you why this is so important, especially for those of us who have had a suicide loss, and it doesn't, or a loss of any traumatic loss of any type. And it doesn't matter if it's recent or if it was several years ago, like me. Compounding losses can be really hard and triggering. And so in the last couple weeks, we had the loss of a friend of ours, Denise O'Brien. She had been battling cancer for years, but it is still, a tremendous loss, and not just for me, but her family and so many people in the community, because she was such a giver in our community, and that was really sad. And then the next day, another gal that I know, and I really look up to her. She was very nurturing and caring when I lost Bobby, and she lost her husband. And Joe had been sick for quite a while. He had dementia, Alzheimer's, and she was his caregiver for months. And as her caregiver, I saw it take such a toll on her. It really took a toll on her. It was hard, and he had just gone into hospice and passed away the next day. It's back to back. Um, and then last week, and this isn't as close to home, but you know, I kind of grew up in a racing family. When we were younger, my parents raced stock cars in the Northwest, and so um, throughout my whole life, I have been connected to NASCAR. My brother built cars for a NASCAR driver, was on his crew. Dale Earnhardt was my favorite driver uh, when he started racing. We've gone to the races in Daytona, and so last week, and as everybody has heard, the sudden death of Kyle Busch. And the thing that had struck me with that is I had heard the day that he had gone into the hospital, and the next day he passed away, which was actually, I think, the day that we actually tape our show, but it was later in that day. And he wasn't one of my favorite drivers at all. I watched him grow since he started racing when he was a teenager in the Cup Series, and watched him grow as a driver. We used to call him Little Shrub. He was obnoxious like his brother was, and I just really didn't care for him. And he even, as years went on and saw him grow and marry and have children, he's was a great father. But it hit me hard for some reason, and talking to a few other people that I know who have kind of like the same opinion as I have, it hit them hard too. It was just so unexpected, and having these layerings of deaths, it gets heavy. Like I said, it really hit me way harder than what I ever would have thought. Since how he wasn't my favorite driver, I really don't have a favorite driver anymore. Since Dale died, and that was a hard one on me. I remember when that happened, and it was the last one that we had a racing party here at the house, and so we had a lot of friends over, and my mom called to tell us because we didn't know at the time, and after she told me, she made me put Bobby on the phone, and she just told Bobby, just take care of her, because she knew how upset I would have been, or I was. And I was almost that upset this time. And like I said, he wasn't my favorite driver, but it was just so tragic and so sad. And again, the layering. And then this past weekend, another gal that I know passed away. And in the community, she actually she had a title company, and she had a pretty major stroke several months ago, and had been moved to a rehab facility in Tampa. I just, it was like, man, just really another one. It's just been hard and heavy, and I kind of try to I don't know, really, I guess, to be frankly honest with you, it had kind of put me in a bit of a depression. So I try to go back and go through some of the books that we have brought to you in the past. So, but one thing I have done, even though I haven't been able to go out and walk the trail in the park, I've been walking around my property a lot barefoot just to connect with the earth. I started painting the house, and I've been barefoot the whole time. I know it's probably not real wise, but I haven't been getting up on a ladder too much. But I've been walking around barefoot a lot just to kind of try and ground myself. I kind of feel that now I'm might be pulling myself out of this, but it's just when one thing happens after another. Oh, and then throw in the middle of this. Okay, I had a dishwasher, and this is going to sound kind of off the wall, but it kind of fits. So it was only 2 years old, and it quit working. Well, I didn't do anything about it for a year because I was really mad that this brand new dishwasher quit. So I finally decided, in the midst of all this, which actually I started it before, this had been going on for almost 4 weeks, to get the dishwasher fixed. Took 2-3 weeks, and they finally figured out they couldn't fix it. Well, it did not make me a happy camper. And so I had to go and buy a brand new dishwasher and start over. It was just installed yesterday. So there's all these life things that they just get layered on, and everybody has them. Everybody has them. I'm not special, I know. But I want people to understand that when these things happen to you, it's okay to feel the grief, to feel the burden, but really have people around you. My neighbor, she calls me every day, especially if she doesn't hear from me, and she knows that things are, bothering me. But regardless, we talk every day. Just, it's kind of like our, wellness check with each other. But so one other thing, I'm going to show you some books that I'm going to recommend. These are books mostly that we've gone through in our past shows over the years. But just as a reminder that there's things out there that can help you. And even just sitting and reading for 10 or 15 minutes, you don't have to sit and read the whole book. Read sections out of it. One of my favorite authors during these times, and ironically, that's kind of the title of the book, is by Pema Chaldron. It's When Things Fall Apart: Heart Advice for Difficult Times. I'm not good at this. How do you go? That way? That way. There. Okay. Maybe I can do that. I'm going to put this list of books and the authors in the comments, so you don't have to try and remember to write these down. But this is a really good one, and it's one that you could just open up and read a section of it. It's really, really good. Another one I really like too, actually all these I really like, is Reflections for the Grieving Soul by Mike Napa. It's a good one. And then another one, and I haven't read the whole thing because this is a book that you can read in sections also, or chapters at a time. And it's actually by Goldie Hawn. Yes, that Goldie Hawn. And Wendy Holtz. 10 mindful minutes. And that's all it has to take sometimes. Just sit in the quiet and just read for 10 minutes. It is really, really helpful. And the other one, 10 mindful minutes. I know that we've mentioned it on the show, but I don't think we have gone through that book in the past shows. This one here is processing through grief, and like a lot of our books, there are exercises in these books which are extremely helpful, really to bring you into the work of, the process. This is a really good one too. And the last one I'm going to show you is, and I know we went through this book, and this one is really a lot of exercises, but it's good. How to Carry What Can't Be Fixed, a journal for grief. Now, I really recommend, get my fingers out of the way, Megan Devine. This is a highly interactive book. So I really recommend, there's a lot more out there. These just happen to be some of the ones that I pulled out of our library for me to try and get me grounded and back into a good headspace, because it can be really, really hard to do when things keep piling up. Hopefully we have some reprieve, although we've got funerals to go to, but we'll be with people that love each other and are supportive, and that's always helpful. So like I said, one of the things that I was trying to do to get me in a better headspace, I've wanted to paint our house for a long time. I've had this 5 gallons of paint for probably 4 years. I did get the cottage painted, well, 2 sides of it that my clients see. And I painted one end of our house like about 4 years ago. It's the end where the bedrooms are. And for some reason, whenever Bobby and I would paint the house, that end of the house never got painted, because we would start at the front and work our way all the way around. And by the time we got to that end of the house, we were toast. We were burnt out. So I started painting the house last weekend. I think like last Friday. And during the day, it was been really nice. And then we'd get afternoon storms because it had been so hot. So I would paint like early in the morning and do gallery work or stuff in the house. And if it wasn't raining, paint a little bit in the evening because it cooled down a little bit. Excuse me. Especially after a little bit of the rains, if it quit raining. So, what was it? Sunday or Monday last week? I think it was Sunday. Yeah. I was getting ready to paint. We had really, really hard rains Saturday afternoon, pretty much all through the night to the middle of the night. And so I was getting all set up, getting ready to paint, cleaned up the other end of the house, after I got some of the painting done on the front, to pressure wash and clean the side of the house to get that prepped. And I go to get up on the ladder, and there was a wasp underneath the top ledge where I put my hand. And it stung me. And paint went flying. It was awful. It just, I didn't know what to do. My hand swelled up. If Cage can show that picture, of the lot. I mean, again, I guess it could have been worse, but there was a lot of paint. I did wipe some of it up, but it still looks like that because I haven't been out there to paint since then. Luckily it was my left hand, but still, I haven't been out there to finish painting or clean up that mess. So if you're out there, especially here in Florida or anywhere this time of year, be careful of the wasps. Fortunately, I did have some icky poison stuff. I went to the shop out back and sprayed him in the area. Now I do have to hose down a little bit of that area so that I could finish my touch-up painting. But yeah, that kind of that didn't help either with everything else that was going on. But we're working through it headwise, and I'm actually very optimistic today that it's going to be a good weekend. You know, it's the first, I guess, real full weekend of summer after Memorial Day weekend, and hopefully I can get a little bit further ahead with that. I'm happy with the way the house is coming out. It's a happy color, and that's really my main goal was to make the color of our house. The forest green is the same Bobby had picked out years ago. But the main part of the house is this kind of really pretty yellow. If you like yellow, I do. Anyway, it's a happy color. It makes the house look happy, and that's what I wanted. Is when I pull into the driveway, that it looks happy to me, and I'm accomplishing that. It's probably going to take me a lot longer to complete the project than I anticipated, especially if hopefully I don't have any more incidences with the wasps. But I'm trying to be very careful and mindful about it because I am doing it by myself. But anyways, it's a good thing. It's I think really and truly it is. I started it kind of to help me get through what was going on, and when I get back to it this weekend, it is to continue that good mindfulness. So I wanted to share with you our quote for today. Carrying grief after multiple losses. Grief doesn't get smaller when another loss comes. It gets heavier, but so does your strength, even on the days you can't feel it. You are not weak for struggling. You are human for caring so much. And you're not alone. So please remember to put these numbers in your phone, have them memorized. 988, you can text it. You could be the one to give that one person hope. Because remember, there's always hope. Thanks for joining us.